In the ever-evolving digital landscape, the protection of personal data has become a paramount concern, and with good reason. Regulation of personal data at the national level and U.S. state level has set new standards for data privacy and associated data protection. Yet many organizations, even those subject to these regulations, find themselves unprepared to face the data privacy risks that could jeopardize the sensitive data they handle. This video is designed to provide information for organizations outside of the EU, identifying privacy myths that hinder data protection efforts, uncovering the realities of regulated data protection, and asking crucial questions that every data protection officer, DPO, must address. One commonality across data protection regulations is that they place the onus on organizations to process personal data with the utmost care, ensuring its confidentiality, integrity, and availability. While the regulations provide a comprehensive framework for data protection, it is up to each organization's DPO in particular to navigate and implement these regulations effectively. The requirements are often stringent, but these various regulations represent the best attempts at genuinely protecting the rights of data subjects and their data. These laws are more than just empty legislation. They represent a fundamental shift in how organizations worldwide are expected to handle personal data. Let's focus on the EU's General Data Protection Regulation, or GDPR, which applies to any entity that processes the data of EU residents, regardless of location. Consequently, even organizations beyond the EU and based in the United States, Asia, Latin America, or elsewhere must comply if they engage with European customers or partners. The GDPR is renowned for its stringent requirements aimed at safeguarding the rights and freedoms of individuals concerning their personal data. Various EU supervisory authorities have assessed significant penalties to both EU and non-EU organizations, resulting in severe fines, reputational damage, and legal consequences. For data protection officers, the GDPR challenges are manifold. They must oversee the implementation of GDPR within their organizations, ensuring that the data processing activities align with the regulation's principles. Yet many DPOs are grappling with organizations that possess immature data privacy programs, often due to a lack of resources, expertise, or awareness of the risks involved. So the question we must ask is your GDPR-regulated data truly protected? In order to answer that question, we have to first address 4 common myths about data protection, and later walk through several sobering realities that robust data protection programs should prepare for. Several myths have misled organizations as they mature their data protection capabilities. Myth 1 is that compliance equals protection. One of the most significant misconceptions about the GDPR is that compliance with GDPR automatically translates to robust data protection. While compliance is a critical aspect, compliance represents table stakes. The GDPR ensures that organizations have the necessary processes and policies in place, but it doesn't guarantee the effectiveness of these measures. Every month, fully compliant organizations are breached across the entire spectrum of compliance frameworks. Myth 2 is that privacy breaches are always external threats. A prevalent myth suggests that privacy breaches are predominantly caused by external hackers. While external threats are significant, internal threats such as employee negligence, system misconfigurations, and malicious intent are equally, if not more, dangerous. Myth 3 is that data protection is an IT issue. Data protection and cybersecurity involve different expertise and backgrounds. While data protection is difficult to achieve without a strong risk view of IT assets, data protection is not solely an IT or InfoSec department's responsibility. Please see our video on why CISOs should not be DPOs. As executives, we commonly talk about people, process, and technology, and all 3 can lead to improperly protected data. True data protection demands a cross-functional organization-wide governance effort involving IT, legal, HR, marketing, and other departments. Siloed approaches often lead to privacy vulnerabilities that can be exploited by bad actors or untrained employees. Myth 4 is that non-EU organizations don't have to pay fines. EU regulators can seize property, prohibit EU business access, or potentially issue a payment order that is then pursued through US state courts. Hopefully, that helps to dispel some of the myths. Let's move on with the realities of GDPR-regulated data protection. Organizations that want to build or mature their data protection programs have a number of realities that they need to address in their quest to protect GDPR-regulated data. We've identified 4 of them for this video. Reality 1 is that GDPR compliance requires ongoing effort. Achieving GDPR compliance is not a one-time project. it's an ongoing process. Becoming compliant requires expertise, capability, and resources, while regular audits, assessments, and updates are essential to ensure continued compliance. Reality, too, is that privacy breaches, like cybersecurity breaches, can be costly. Unlike past years, personal data is becoming more regulated beyond just the GDPR. Various U.S. states and many countries are beginning to regulate the private data of their residents. They often require reporting of privacy incidents that require reporting to any other supervisory body. Each regulatory body may then independently assess the circumstance and the penalties for a single incident. In short, the cost of non-compliance for regulated private data is beginning to exceed the cost of compliance. Privacy breaches can have severe financial consequences, including hefty fines, legal fees, and potential compensation payouts to affected individuals. The financial impact can be crippling for organizations, especially those with immature data privacy programs. Reality 3 is that your organization's reputation is at stake. Beyond financial repercussions, a privacy breach can tarnish an organization's reputation irreparably. Trust is challenging to regain once lost, and customers and partners may sever ties with an organization that fails to protect their data. Reality 4 is that certain foundational capabilities are required to build a successful data protection program. Successful data protection programs need more than good strategy and policies. They need operational processes to match those policies in a way that achieves data protection goals while still enabling what the organization needs to do, rather than being an obstacle. Well-governed data protection programs also have a strong understanding of their risks across their asset landscape and third-party vendors. Given these realities, the road ahead for DPOs won't be easy. What should DPOs in organizations with immature data privacy programs prioritize? First is education and awareness. DPOs should take the lead in educating their organizations about the importance of GDPR compliance and data protection. This involves creating a culture of awareness from the C-suite to the frontline employees. Second is ongoing risk assessment. Conducting thorough risk assessments is essential. DPOs should align with the organization's cyber and operational risk processes to identify potential vulnerabilities, both technical and human, and prioritize them for mitigation. Number 3 is incident response planning. Prepare for the worst by developing a robust incident response plan. Knowing how to react swiftly and effectively to a privacy breach can make all the difference. Lastly, regular auditing and monitoring. Implement continuous monitoring and auditing processes to ensure ongoing compliance and identify any potential issues early. Data protection services might be a way forward for many organizations. While data protection officers can spearhead data privacy efforts within their organizations, they often require external expertise and resources to navigate the complexities of GDPR-regulated data protection. This is where data protection services like Governisto can provide value. Leveraging experienced DPOs, these vendor services offer a wealth of knowledge and experience in data protection and cyber risk. They can provide the previously mentioned assessments, audits, training, and guidance tailored to the organization's specific needs. Governisto can also build, operate, and facilitate data protection programs. While not a direct selling point, these services can be invaluable to DPOs working to protect personal data effectively with limited resources, immature processes, and at scale. What is the call to action for data protection officers? The question, is your regulated personal data truly protected, is one that every DPO should be asking themselves. The realities of GDPR compliance and data protection are complex and multifaceted. Organizations with immature data privacy programs must prioritize education, risk assessment, incident response planning, and regular auditing. Ultimately, regulated personal data protection is not a one-size-fits-all endeavor. It requires a holistic approach, commitment, and ongoing diligence to ensure that sensitive data remains secure in an ever-changing digital landscape. Please visit our website at governisto.com for more information, or to sign up to our weekly newsletter, or, if you prefer, follow Governisto on LinkedIn, YouTube, X, and Instagram.